starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
If Jacoby Brissett was playing bad football for the past 3 weeks, Kyler Murray will be fully healthy, ready to go. Can't wait to get him on the field at Seattle and try to resurrect our season. Now you have Jacoby Brissett playing really good football. Putting Kyler Murray back in right now because he wasn't playing good football doesn't make any sense. The perfect storm here for Arizona. Hey, Kyler, going on IR takes the pressure off you. And Jacoby, you deserve the start. Go ahead and start, kid.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
And the amazing thing you're going to say about Tom Izzo for the jump is, Tom Izzo don't duck anybody. You want to hear who they have to play preseason? Kentucky, Duke, UNC, and Arkansas. This is not the Jimmy Boeheim Don't Leave New York Carrier Dome Classic. This guy plays people.
College basketball today, only on SportsGrid.
We now have to figure out if they will be in the playoffs. They're the Super Bowl favorite and have shorter odds to miss the postseason as you and I sit here right now.
Right, but let me ask you this. Do you feel after this 5-4 record, 9 weeks, 10 weeks of the regular season, that their defense is as dominant as it was last year?
But the offense is better.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It is in-game live game day and a marvelous Monday evening. Scott Wetzel and Gabriel Morency for the next 3.5 hours or so. We'll take it to the end of the Monday Night Football game. Got a good one for you tonight as Green Bay is getting set to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. We got some NBA games. We got hockey. Rangers doing something tonight that they haven't done too often this season. And a couple of college basketball games to keep an eye on as well that fall into our system plays for the year. So a lot to get to. Hopefully making a couple of shekels along the way. First up, though, game time. What's betting you off tonight, Gabe?
Well, what's betting me off is the National Football League as a whole. And on paper, this should be a good football game, but the good football games have been few and far between in the National Football League this year. If you want to watch a good football game and an entertaining football game, watch a CFL playoff game and not an NFL primetime game. I thought last night I talked myself into the fact that the Chargers and the Steelers should be an entertaining football game. I started watching Star Trek halfway through the game. Like people have often said over the years, if it wasn't for betting and if it wasn't for fantasy sports, the NFL wouldn't have the viewership that they do. But the games are so bad, even if you have money on them, it's a hard watch right now. So let's hope that we actually have a good one tonight. I think we will. Kind of feels like a playoff game, early playoff sort of matchup tonight. So it could and should be a good game. I guess time will tell.
Yeah, we will see. I do think we're going to get some points tonight. Our opening pickoff, I'll begin with the over 44.5 game. Did drop from 45.5, and I don't like generally going against line movements, albeit 1 point in these Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night games. I found the line movements for those games in particular to be right on, but I'll buck it anyway and go with the over 44.5 Philadelphia Green Bay.
I'm going to start off with the Philadelphia Eagles in this football game. You know, I'd like to be on the home team here. You basically have a pick'em football game, but losing Tucker Kraft is a massive blow to this Green Bay Packer offense. He's their leading pass catcher, all right? He's their best, pass catcher, leading yarder, the guy with the most touchdowns through the air. He's Jordan Love's guy. He's not there. Jaden Reed, obviously, already out. And now you add in Matthew Golden to the equation being out as well. You know, if they're going to do this, they're going to have to be able to run the ball successfully tonight. And Jordan Love is going to have to be able to make plays with a limited cast of weapons. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles plus the point.
All right. In that same vein, I'll use a 6-point teaser tonight. And same thing, I'm going to go with Philadelphia. Green Bay getting 4.5 is tempting at home, but they're going to really lose back-to-back home games, which, boy, you can count on one hand how many times they've done that. But you know what? I'll still take the champs. I'll grab the over touchdown, bump them from plus 1.5 to plus 7.5, and then I'll stick with my over and go over 38.5 points at a little two-team 6-point tease.
Now, it should be noted that the Eagles are coming off a bye as well coming into this football game. Nick Sirianni is 4-0 off a bye, so he has been rock solid, undefeated, off of a bye. Anybody that knows me knows I don't like betting on unders, and I generally don't even like to tease unders, but I see this game differently as Scott. I do not believe that this is going to be a track meet. I think it's going to have a playoff-like atmosphere. The Packers don't really have the weapons to turn this into a track meet, and the Eagles don't play track meets, right? They're both going to run the ball. The Green Bay Packer defense is really good. They've only given up 46 plays on the season of 20 yards or more. It's the least in the National Football League. So they are good at limiting big plays. So I'm expecting sort of a smash mouth game that gets to the total. It could go over. Like, you know what I mean? Anytime I say a 24-21 gets you there, I'm into it. But I thought last night a 24-21 game could get us there, and it ended up being 25-10. I know it's a different game tonight, but give me the Philadelphia Eagles teased up to 8 points, and let's tease this thing to the under 52. So I got under 52 and plus 8, 7-point teaser, Eagles and the under.
All right. I don't think Philadelphia is going to have success running the ball. Green Bay's got the number 2 rushing defense in the NFL. So because of that, and Saquon Barkley's not been the same Saquon this year as he clearly was last year. He's only rushed for 100 yards one time so far this season. So I think they're going to struggle. This might be my best play of all game. Love the over 26.5 pass attempts, Jalen Hurts. He usually gets between 20 and 25, 26, 27. He's hit this number about half the time. But I think he will tonight because I don't think they're going to run the ball. No one has against Green Bay, so I don't know why Philadelphia, especially in a somewhat down year for Saquon, is going to be any different. So that means pass attempts for Philadelphia. 27 is not a lot. Most quarterbacks, it's right around 30, 31, 32. So 27, you're getting a good number anyway on Jalen Hurts. Over 26.5 pass attempts Hurts.
I'm going to go with some touchdown scoring props here, and I'll keep this kind of simple. In the sense that Josh Jacobs, listen, the guy's got 10 touchdowns in 8 games. He's got a touchdown in 7 of the 8 football games that they played this year. It really isn't rocket science. They give him the football inside the 5-yard line. And not just once. They'll run it a bunch of times in a row with him until he scores the touchdown. So it's down to minus 150. It's actually come down a little bit right now. I'll take Josh Jacobs to score a touchdown.
All right. I'll use Josh Jacobs for my last one. Over 67.5 rushing yards for Jacobs. Philadelphia, conversely, Green Bay, I told you, number 2 rushing defense. Philadelphia's in the bottom third. So they're not very good rushing the ball. The way we've seen Jordan Love struggle a little bit with the Tucker injury as well being thrown in there, I can't see Jacobs not getting his attempts tonight. And if he gets his attempts, he'll get 70 yards, 68 yards. So I'd be real surprised. Outside of like a couple of Philadelphia goofy touchdowns and they jump out to a 2 lead and Green Bay gets out of its offense, I can't help but think Jacobs is going to get 68 yards rushing tonight. So over 67.5 yards rushing Josh Jacobs.
I like Jacobs over 2.5 receptions. 4 of the last 5 games, he's gone over that number. Love will be under duress tonight. He doesn't have wide receivers to throw it to, so I think Jacobs will be involved in the passing attack tonight. I do like Jacobs over 2.5 receptions. I played it. But our final pickoff play, and once again, we're kind of keeping this one pretty simple. We're not thinking outside the box, but we're taking Jalen Hurts to score a touchdown. And Jalen Hurts doesn't score as many touchdowns as he used to. But with that being stated, he still has 5 touchdowns on the season. Right, so by normal quarterback standards, that's a lot of touchdowns. But by Eagle standards and by his standards, but it should be noted, everybody, that the Green Bay Packer organization and Matt LaFleur's coaching staff were the ones that wanted to ban the tush push. Yeah. They're the ones that started the whole "this shouldn't be allowed. It's an illegal play, and let's ban it." And I guarantee you the Philadelphia Eagles are going to run it on them out of spite. And they're going to want to score a touchdown out of spite and say, oh, you want to ban it? Ban this. And there's going to be a lot of smack talk going on when they're on the goal line. So if we get to the goal line, they're going to run it, right? And they're going to run it like they might even – I could see it kind of push. Sirianni's got to be careful not to get crazy and go for it all the time just out of spite. Say, you know what, screw these guys. We're going to use the tush push here. But I would expect them to score a touchdown and at least try to score a touchdown, considering the Packer organization were the ones that started the ban talk. It should be noted, though, they've been doing this tush push thing for about 4 years, and the percentage of their success rate is going down pretty dramatically. Like in the first year, it was 93% success rate. And it was like 84, 83% success rate. So far this year, they've run it 17 times. It's been successful 76% of the time. So teams are starting to catch on a little bit on how to stop it.
Yeah. I remember the one game against the Giants, it took them 4 times to get 1 yard. So there's 3 of the misses right there. So, all right, that's a pretty good play. I like that, especially with the Green Bay angle there. So I got 4 other quickies here I'll throw you. Each team to score a rushing touchdown, passing touchdown, plus 170. Most rushing yards, I'll use Jacobs plus 120. It's basically him or Saquon Barkley, right? And I told you how about Barkley might struggle tonight. Our correct score, Green Bay wins 27-21, pays 125 to 1. First quarter, Green Bay leads 7-3, or it's 7-7, pays 12 to 1 or 14 to 1. So
I'm going to go 24-20. 24-20, Philadelphia.
There you go. That's that.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top 3 when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid, getting underway. Our start of our football game here in a second or two, Gabe. How about this? Now, listen, it's not a lot to go from 0 to 1, but right now FanDuel has Philadelphia favored by 1.5. This started today with Green Bay being 2.5-point favorites. Then it went down to 1.5. And again, I'm seeing on FanDuel Philadelphia 1.5-point favorite. What do you make of that?
I think listen, there's been a big steam sort of on the Philadelphia Eagles throughout the afternoon into the evening, I think due to the injuries. of the Green Bay Packers. And then I guess it was about 45 minutes ago or so, Matthew Golden was declared out of this football game as well. Right now, Matthew Golden's a rookie, so how much impact does he have? But that's another wide receiver that they don't have, right? Like they're literally running out of bodies right now at the wide receiver position. Now, listen, they do have Romeo Doubs, and they've got Christian Watson, and you've got Luke Musgrave. So Musgrave, inherits the Tucker Kraft role. His prop is 3.5. It's plus 130. They like to throw to the tight end. And, I'm not sure how open the receivers are going to get. But where I'm going with this is I think Romeo Doubs is the go-to guy here. It's over under 4.5 receptions. He gets open a lot. And Jordan Love likes him. There'll be a lot of these sort of quick hits to Doubs. Christian Watson's more of a deep guy, so it's going to be hit or miss. But think about it, guys. Now you have the Philadelphia Eagle secondary and defense. Dude, Romeo Doubs is the number one wide receiver suddenly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Scott?
Yeah.
Like they're not going to fear this, bro. So they're going to be able to I think they're going to be able to blitz. They're going to do a lot of crazy things thinking, whatever, man, it's Romeo Doubs and it's Christian Watson. We can play man-to-man with them. We don't have to, worry about double-teaming them or anything. Just line up and play man-to-man with them, and we'll be fine. So that's going to leave them with a lot of sort of, toys to work with at the line of scrimmage, so to speak. Different blitzes, stunts. They can send guys. So it'll be interesting to see. But I think, Scott, the Romeo Doubs from a Packer perspective, over 4.5. I think he probably finishes 7 catches tonight.
I tell you, I like your 2.5 receptions on Josh Jacobs a little bit more as well. Figuring
similar situation.
Just dump the ball off, get him the ball a couple of times. So they bumped his rushing yards up to 70.5 yards, but they still got his receiving at 2.5. Little juice minus 168. But I could definitely see that. All right, just dump the ball off to him. We got to get the ball in his hands situation. So, all right, 1.5 Philadelphia favorite. Let's see who gets the ball. Green Bay gets the ball first.
Packers have the football.
Yeah, so we're
nice little return. And I don't know if I'm crazy, but I think it was Doubs that returned the kick only because he's got the bubble on his helmet.
Yeah.
So he's sort of easy to to notice. But I want to confirm this, but it couldn't have been him.
Boy, with
it wasn't.
The amount of injury they have, that would be
That's
really
what I was going to say, Scott. I'm going to be like, are you guys insane? You've got no wide receivers and you let one of your receivers open. But it wasn't. It was Savion Williams. So just for the record, it wasn't. It wasn't. I was going to be like, yeah, that seems kind of insane to me. But so, yeah, we're off and running. Green Bay gets the ball first. It is, it's interesting. It's a pretty low total, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I know it went up, but, so the bettors, the public likes to bet this stuff. But, the last 3 years, guys, we're starting to accumulate something here. And I almost bet listen, I didn't bet the under here. I teased it to the under, and there is a difference, right? But I'll tell you, Scott, these primetime games have been so bad. How many of them have gone over? How many times have you and I sat here and gone, oh, what a great game, and, oh, can you believe it, going back and forth? It's no, it's normally one team shows up, the other team doesn't. We'll see if tonight is any different. So it's not that high of a total, really, for teams that are supposedly as good as these two are. But we do have two good defenses.
Yeah, that's probably also why, it's funny. The over-under dropped a point, and I thought that was kind of weird. But okay, no big deal. But now the Golden's out, and maybe that's why that line moved. They were a little late to adjust on the actual line movement versus the over-under with him being out. So
it's been 56% now over the last 3 years coming into tonight with primetime games.
Unders?
Yeah. So the last 3 seasons, 50s. That's a significant trend right there. 56. Yeah. You're not getting rich off it, but as they say, anything over 52.5, right? Which whatever, 50, that's sort of the profit margin, but when you get into the 55, 56% over 3 years, that is a trend. These primetime games do play to the under.
And there's listen, you're getting 50, 60 primetime games if they're going to include them all. Thanksgiving
3 a week. So think if you're going 2-1 a week, you're winning money, right?
Yeah.
If you put it that way.
So, That's actually not that bad. Interesting. I'm sure the NFL doesn't like that. They want the points, right? In these primetime games, they want scoring. So I'm sure they're not thrilled with
well,
that.
if they did, why did they give us the Jets and Patriots on Thursday?
Well, exactly. Yeah, right.
But kidding aside, I know what you mean.
What do you think? We'll let this game, get underway here. What'd you think of the Giants? Not surprised at all, firing Dable. In fact, Mike Blue and I were doing in-game live yesterday afternoon after the game, and we even said it. We predicted he would get fired today. So I'm not surprised.
I didn't think they wanted to fire him, but the management of Jackson Dart and getting him killed and having him run all the time, and Jackson Dart's in the tent and him yelling at the tent a couple of weeks ago,
right.
Not a good look. They're not getting better, right? And if you think about it, guys, the Giants have talent. They shouldn't be as bad as they are, Scott.
They should.
They really shouldn't. You know what I mean? It's like defensively, you know what I mean? Like they got a bunch of studs on defense. You've got talent on offense. I know Neighbors got hurt. I'm not saying like, oh, yeah, they should be a 12-win team right now, but there will be coaches that look at this like it's a good job. It's a good job.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I mean, like people, there's no pressure on the New York media. Whatever, dude. They'll build a statue, Scott, if you go to a wild card. You get them. You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, they're not like, oh, it's not like toxic. If you're nice to the media, they'll be cool with you. Like, don't go 3-13 and they won't bitch at you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it's not like this overly negative. Like the Jets' job is like their press conferences are more negative. Like the Jet media is a little bit more aggressive. Giant, like they respect the organization more. Like there's a different vibe. And you got players, Scott. Like if you're a coach, all right, I got Jackson Dart. I got running backs. I got like wide receivers. I got defensive linemen. I'm going to have a top pick again in the draft. I think it's a pretty attractive job for a coach, actually. The question is, who's that coach?
Who's the coach? That's the $64,000.
I say Sean Gruden.
Yeah. Ooh. Maybe.
That's my suggestion.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top three when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly, Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game day on the grid underway. First quarter, Green Bay's going to have to punt the ball after Jordan Love took an awful sack on second down. They did like a 25-yard sack. You can't do. You got to throw the ball away. So no score midway through the first quarter. Eagles will get the ball for the first time here in just a couple of moments. A couple of hockey games tonight, Gabe. We got the Rangers 4-1. How about that? At home after being shut out over the weekend, 5-0 by the Islanders. Their fifth home shutout in 7 games, but they got 4 on the board against Nashville. You got the Islanders and Devils tied at 1 midway through the second period. Good game, well, maybe not a good game, but a good betting, I think, opportunity game coming up here with Edmonton and Columbus after the Oilers got just annihilated over the weekend, 9-1 by Colorado Saturday night.
I'm sure the Rangers got a couple of legitimate Bronx cheers tonight after actually scoring this many times, some sarcastic cheers. But, yeah, they put a 4 spot up. So speaking of, like, sarcastic cheers, the Edmonton Oilers got absolutely murdered the other night, 9-1. All right? Now, listen, you lose 9-1, it's one thing. You lose 9-1 on your home ice, and, like, it's absolutely disgraceful, especially for a team that's been in the Stanley Cup for 2 years in a row, right? With Connor McDavid, the expectations are high in Edmonton all the time. And they fire coaches there. Like, they do. Like, you can, you know what I mean? You can be in the Stanley Cup one year and you could get fired by the Oilers the next year. Like, it's a toxic environment in that city. Like, we're talking about New York. Edmonton's way worse than New York. Like, there are a bunch of, like, reporters that have been covering the team, like, since the Gretzky days, so they're jackasses, and they think that they're more, like, they've been there longer than you. And they're going to be there longer than you, the way they see it, because they're going to run you out of town. Like, they're very confrontational in Edmonton. Like, the players on the Oilers despise the local media. Like, Leon Draisaitl. Leon Draisaitl is one of the nicest guys in the league, and he, like, basically is, like, he's been reduced to Bill Belichick at press conferences. Next question. Next. Like, yeah. Like, what happened tonight? We won. like, you know, like they're like, yeah, it's like the Oiler players give one-word answers now. Like, it's always, so the problem with that is there's a saying in sports, don't start a, there was a coach that said, I forget who said it years ago, but he said, never start a war with the media. They never run out of ink. And it's true. They you know, you pick a war with the media if you're a player or a coach. There's more people in the media, and they'll turn on you. Like, they'll get you, and they won't stop. And they'll get you fired eventually because they'll be more negative, even if they don't have to be after a short losing streak, etc. So, long story short, the pressure's on in Edmonton tonight to show up, all right? I don't like the price. I liked it earlier when it was minus 170. It's up to minus 185 right now because everybody in the world, in the hockey world, is going to bet the Oilers tonight, Scott. You know, in the NBA, sometimes teams will get killed, but they'll get killed often just because they're bad, right? In the NHL, there really is a code of this, of if you get embarrassed, like, these guys will be like Secret Service agents tonight, Scott, like blocking shots, and they can't, like, if they get lit up again tonight, then seriously, then maybe we don't have the right coach. Maybe McDavid, maybe McDavid's thinking about leaving. Maybe, like, it starts a fire, bro. Like, they got to win this game tonight. So I don't bet on teams because they need to win the game, but I will bet on a hockey team that gave up 9 goals on their home ice. So give me the Edmonton Oilers tonight.
That's what I'm thinking, too. In fact, I'll take them in regulation because if my thinking is true that they come out flying after being embarrassed, then they'll win in regulation against a mediocre Columbus team, right? So if it goes to overtime, you know, and even if they win in overtime, then my thinking is wrong, and I'll accept that as a loss in my world. So they have lost, 4 or 5 of their last 7.
Columbus have a better record than they do. We should be noted. Columbus have a better record than the Oilers do.
Oh, yeah,
so,
I was going to say, they're in next to last place game, Edmonton. This is not just like one bad loss. They're in next to last place in their division, the Edmonton Oilers.
But it goes to show the kind of parity that's going on right now. Like, basically, the Western Conference is just a bloodbath. And they all have the same record. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the Flames are struggling. The Flames are 4-11. Yeah, like the Oilers are 6-6. They're 6-4. The Vancouver Canucks 8-1. Like, just the epitome, like San Jose Sharks are 7-6. The Kings are 7-5. The Kraken are 7-4. The Knights are 7-3, and there's the Anaheim Ducks at the top, Scott, 11-3. Yeah. And you know the Ducks were plus 120 underdogs last night on home ice again? Yeah. Dude, they win every game, and they're underdogs all the time. It's crazy. The odds makers just don't seem to notice about the Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah. And they're beating really good teams, too. I'll tell you talk more about it.
And by big margins.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top three when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly, Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. A little pop quiz for hockey fans out there. What do the following teams have in common? Florida game twice, Detroit, Dallas on the road, Vegas on the road, and Winnipeg. Those are some pretty good hockey teams, right? Those are all the teams that Anaheim has beaten in their current 7-game win streak. I mean, are we talking like they're still 50-1 to win the whole thing? Are we going goofy and saying we should buy in just a little bit? Not a major play on them, but it is, I don't want to wait until they drop to 20-1 when they continue on this winning streak. But who knows? We've seen crazy things happen in sports. Maybe it is. They were a decent team last year. It's not like they were awful. So should we be buying a little piece of a 50-1 ticket on Anaheim? They're playing great hockey.
The NHL is really hard to win the Stanley Cup. Yeah, how many times have you seen a team come from nowhere to win the cup?
Right.
Look at the NHL. Like the Florida Panthers have won 2 cups in a row. Yeah, 3 years ago, they lost in the cup final. Right? Vegas won the cup. Yeah, they lost before that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really is a league, Scott, of getting there and losing. You know what I mean? And winning type of deal. Like, it's very rare that you see a team, like, just sort of skyrocket to the Stanley Cup. And in fact, we can go through the list, but who's the last team off my top?
Maybe Montreal.
Yeah, Montreal, you're right.
A few years
Making
ago,
it to the cup, I would say Montreal, you're right. That was kind of put it this way, Anaheim are better than Montreal were too that year.
Right. That was a goalie situation.
There was a little bit of a difference. Yeah, Carey Price was amazing. It was a COVID year. There were different divisions. You know what I mean? It was an all-Canadian division and stuff. Like, there were some variables to it, but you're right. The Canadians made it to the cup They are dangerous. I mean, hell, the Chicago Blackhawks are dangerous right now, Scott, too. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a mini changing of the guard going on. The number 1 and number 2 scorers in the NHL right now is Macklin Celebrini and Connor Bedard, a 20-year-old and a 19-year-old.
That's good for the NHL. You know, they need some new blood. You're right. Ultimately, in a best of 7, are they going to be, we'll say, Colorado in the Western Final? Western
Yeah,
Conference
that's what I'm saying.
Got there?
And then if they did the Vegas in the next round after that, and the Dallas Stars in the next round after that, like the Dallas Stars, another one, Scott. Like it's a bitch, bro, right in there. It's like, hey, we beat the Avalanche. Yeah, good for you. You got the Winnipeg Jets next. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
and then you got Edmonton.
There's,
and then you got
exactly. Like, there's we talked about it last year. Like when you're in the West, that 1-8 stuff doesn't matter, bro. It's like, who cares? Everybody's good. Like, it's a problem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even that last sort of wild card team can beat you, man. Like in the Western Division. Like, you're dealing with an LA Kings or a Vancouver Canucks that can beat you in a series, right? Like, it's not easy, the West. The East is an easier path. I'm not taking anything away from the Panthers, but it's not nearly as deep, Scott, in the East. Let's call it out for what it is.
Yeah. I'll say this, too.
Like, who's a powerhouse in the East?
Maybe you
Florida,
can play,
Tampa.
Yeah. The East Day, you could do it. East Day might be able to do it. You know, you got Carolina and Florida to me, and maybe Tampa. But Anaheim is minus 250 to make the playoffs. So they bought in on them, like, being good. You can still get 50
there's
for them to win it all, but if you think you're getting plus money on them to make the playoffs, forget about it.
You know there's a swoon coming, though, right? So it's almost like –
yeah.
So you're right. Buy right now, or say, you know what? Let's wait until they go on the East Coast and lose 4 or 6 and let the market cool off on them a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you start thinking to
yourself. Still a good number, Scott, though. Because like you said, this isn't a case where it's like, oh, my God, the Anaheim Ducks are good. And, it used to be 200 to 1. It's down to 50 to 1. No. Dude, their point total was 82.5.
Right.
Like, that's like they, you know what I mean? To put in context, the Blackhawks was 67.5. Like, the Sharks, like, was 70.5. Right? Like, so they were, you know what I mean? They were projected to be competing for a playoff spot, the Ducks. Yeah. And it should be noted, their owner in the offseason guaranteed they were going to make it. He said, I promise you, we're going all in on this team. We're going to win a Stanley Cup soon. We're going to make the playoffs this year. And I remember saying in the offseason, I said, man, you're getting people's hopes up when there's no one to sign. I think I talked about it with you even. I'm like, we're going to get Mitch Marner. It's like, Mitch Marner's not. He's going to Vegas or the LA Kings, like probably. Or, everyone knew he was going to Vegas. But they ended up getting Joel Quenneville, who was a pretty big get. I mean, the guy's like a 3-time Stanley Cup champion coach. And evidently coaching matters, Scott. Look how he's really turned this thing around into a professional operation.
Yeah. I'll tell you what that tells me about that owner, Gabe, is that if they continue to play this well, maybe not, obviously not as good as they're playing right now, but if they continue
he'll trade for players, yes. He will be in the market.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And he'll give up draft picks, too. He won't care. He won't care either. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way, exactly. It's not about life, though, Scott. Like, if the Ducks get good, you can sell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice weather, Orange County. Like, you're not even living in L.A. Like, hell, the Dodger players all live in Orange County. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, like, think about it. Golf, nice house, Disneyland for the kids, Disney World, whatever, Disneyland there, etc. Disneyland for this right there near the arena, like, for the kids, your family. And the team is good. Got a lot of good young players on the team.
Yeah. And you really don't play, I don't think, anyway. I've never lived out there, so I don't know. But I know you have. I don't think you really play second fiddle to the Kings. Like here in New York, the Islanders will always play second fiddle to the Rangers.
Well, yeah, they do in the sense that they're not – the Ducks are, like, talked about last in the newscast.
They are? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like Lakers, you know what I mean? Let's see what happened to Lakers, Clippers. All right, let's see, check in with the Kings. The Angels are at the bottom, and the Chargers, you wouldn't know. Right. But the thing is, Scott, like, put it this way, like, Orange County it's like Long Island. Like, there's a different police department, there's a different mayor, and they have their own airport, John Wayne. It's like a rich sub, you know what I mean? It's not Los Angeles. It's a different city. Right? That's why I always beef about, man, was that an interception? Wow. So both teams, Scott, just going up and down the field, but we're getting 0 points out of this.
Wow.
The Packers just picked them off.
Wow. Yeah, Eagles had it down to Green Bay 24. Wow. All right.
Yeah. Well, there's
Two
the pick.
possession
Wow.
unders down to 34.5. That's looking pretty good.
Man, 0-0, huh?
Yeah. I played the 7-7.
Let's see. No, it wasn't an interception. So it wasn't an interception.
7-3.
It's a fumble. Not in my bad. No, it's not an interception. I saw the return and stuff. I looked up. Is he down though?
Is he down though?
I don't think he's down.
That was Hurts, right?
No. Yeah, Hurts was running and he fumbled it.
Yeah.
I sort of looked up and saw the return happening. And so I thought, oh, interception, but no. I think it's a fumble. Like he's not down.
I don't think his knee was down. He kind of fell over.
He's on top of the player. Yeah, you see he's lying on top of the
right.
Which is kind of dumb too.
Down,
Like that should be down too. Like if you down like you're on top of the player. That's like all these stupid little rules. Always on top of the player. It's like okay. But yeah, that's a fumble. That's a fumble.
Yeah, that's a
See, at what point do you look at buying into the over of this? Well, you're already in on the over. So
yeah.
But at what point would you say, you know what? Oh boy, I'm gonna double down, man. It's just too low. It's already at 33.5. I'm not ready to bite yet, but
yeah.
I don't want to get cocky or greedy, but let's say if it goes to 23.5 or something, I'm going to buy it.
That would be low. Yeah, I would say, get it under 34 at 33, like 31.5.
It's 33.5 right now.
Yeah, FanDuel's got it at 34.5. They both went up and down the field. It's not your 3 yards in a cloud of dust punt.
I did it last night. What was the score at the half last night? 14-3, 11-3, 14, what was it? 15-5 was a dumb score. What was it? What was the score?
It was 12-3. I think it was 12-3.
Yeah, 12-3. Okay, so the total was 35.5 at the half.
Wow.
And I said, all right, this game has to open up. Like, we're going to have to. Like, there's going to be some touchdowns here. It got to 35. All right, it got to 35. I missed. But yeah, exactly. So we played a quarter pretty much. There's 49 seconds left in the first quarter. We're still scoreless right now.
Yeah. And it was a fumble. They declared it a fumble. It was. So, Packers ball, 49 seconds left. 1.5 and 34.5 on FanDuel anyway.
Another classic game.
A little bit more.
Another classic, Scott.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top 3 when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly, Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number one. So they start the second quarter 0-0 after one. How about that? Both teams had the ball, both in pretty good scoring positions, especially Philadelphia, but they fumbled the ball. Green Bay took a nasty sack that forced them to eventually punt the ball, so they have it for the second time, and they're faced with 4th and 1 from their own, 45-yard line. So we'll see if they
the
go.
Packers, it's got a big run from Jordan Love. Yeah, Jordan Love just ran for like 12 yards. So
I bet they go for it.
We ended the quarter here right now down to 31, Scott. 31 and a half. 31 and a half. What do you have?
FanDuel still got
I got Bet365.
Yeah, I like the 31
Let's
and a half.
see.
That's not too bad.
It's a big difference, eh? Man, they got big differences with their live numbers, FanDuel and Bet365.
Wouldn't it be ironic here, Gabe, if Cleveland all against the tush push, 4th and 1 from their own 45-yard line?
They did it to them?
Yeah, I would think they would, right? Just to kind of like.
I saw the graphic before. They said the Eagles did it 17 times, 76%, but the Bills have run it 8 times this year, which that's a lot. I don't really realize that, but man, we talked about that game last week, Scott. I did not, and you know what? As a Bills fan, and I'm not going to lie, I lost a parlay. I did. Like I don't know, what did I do? Like I took Hawaii or something. Like, I don't know. I took like a Saturday night call, like one of those head starts. And I was like, I'll put the Bills at the back end of this type thing. So the Bills did screw me on one parlay, but I wasn't like all gung-ho about it. And they lost. And not only that, the Dolphins, which is bad for you as a Dolphin fan and Dolphin fans out there, they're not going to fire McDaniel. I'm telling you guys. You and I have talked about it. They're not going to fire him. They're not going to fire him. They would have. They would have, and now we beat the Bills? Come on. They're not going to fire him.
Yeah. That's why, I don't care about the draft position, Gabe.
You'd be better off losing. If you wanted him fired, Scott, you'd be better off if you lost every week.
Yeah. I just assume
he's going to win enough to keep his job, and the players like him, too. And if you're a player, you like the cushy life. He's soft. You don't want some new hard ass coming in. You're like, no, we don't want to get him fired. Let's win.
Yeah. And you look
at to win just enough to keep his job.
Yeah. You look at their schedule. They got to bye this week, or they got Washington rather this week. Then they got to bye.
Oh, I saw they were talking playoffs now. Yeah, they're like, we're not out of this. I saw they were talking playoffs.
Their schedule is so bad. Washington, with Mariota, New Orleans, and the Jets. I mean, they could realistically win 4 in a row, right? But they're still so far behind with 7 losses. You would need Kansas City, Buffalo to lose 4 more times, and that's not going to happen. It just won't. So, but you look back at some of their bad losses. Could they win the next 3 and get the 6 and 7 and all of a sudden have hope?
Yeah, well,
again?
that 1 year, each win you just fall in the draft into that. Now we're drafting 13th. Now we're drafting 16th or 12th or 13th. Yeah, you keep on you know what I mean? You don't want that either. It's hard to get better. I'm in Vancouver and I see that with the Vancouver Canucks. They always draft basically 20th or 18th. They make the playoffs or, you know what I mean? Or they don't, or they're the last team out type thing. And that's the worst place to be. This year they drafted 15th, 16th or whatever, or 17th. You know what I mean? It's the worst when you're in the middle. You can't get better that way. If you're the Dolphins, you know what I'm saying?
It's hard.
You sort of, yeah, it is. It is what it is. But we've always talked about it, that they like him, right? That they like McDaniel. Yeah. They don't think it's his fault. They think no. I don't think they like Tua. I think Tua's the one. That'll be the change, right? I think they'll throw Tua under the bus in the offseason one way. They'll trade him. I don't know if they'll outright release him and bite the bullet, but they'll trade him for anything if they can, I think, Scott. Give us a 5th-round pick and just eat some of the contract. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's weird. It's so ironic with this Dolphin team, Gabe, following them as close as I do.
Oh, sorry, I'll just say, and I could totally see it, Kyler Murray to Miami. I could totally see it now.
Can you imagine?
Just to spite you and torture you, Scott, because I know you don't like Kyler. So it just makes too much sense. They're pushing him out in Arizona. He's good. Teams will, you know what I mean? I could totally see Stephen Ross. Let's bring in Kyler Murray. I could totally see it.
Yeah. It's just funny, because they blow a chance with Joey Burrow, because Brian Flores decides to win games right down the stretch. And now you're in a similar situation with Mike McDaniel. Same thing. It's this is only midway point in the season, but, if they get to week number 13, 14, 15, and they're clearly out of it, This guy's trying to save his job. Meanwhile, the owner is saying, no, lose because we want a higher draft choice. And they're in the same boat as they were 4 years ago with Brian Flores. I mean, it's so amazing. So I don't know what they would do. But it's hard rooting against your team this early in the season.
I got to tell you, my Buffalo Bills are lucky we're in a division with the Jets and Dolphins.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Their defense is kind of like not good. Miami ran the ball down their throats. I mean, I was really surprised with that. But
only like the Cincinnati Bengals, Scott, and the Dallas Cowboys give up like more yards than the Bills only, like type thing. It's bad. Like, I was talking about my podcast, and the Bills gave up like 147 yards a game, which is kind of deceptive. It was 160 2 weeks ago, but I looked it up just for a comparison. I know college is different, but Rice gave up like 147, Scott.
Wow.
Like FIU. Like that, you know what I mean? Like for, you know what I mean? Like college teams, like in the same ballpark. Yeah, I was like, all right, Buffalo, like you're basically Rice, just to put it in context. Like the Rice Owls stop the run at the same rate we do. like, I mean, like you say, oh yeah, like Alabama or something. Like, no, Rice. We're Rice. And oh yeah, we're FIU. Like I would put that up, like if I wanted to get to the players, but I don't even blame the players. McDermott's a defensive guy, right? Yeah. Basically, Scott, I mean, wouldn't you say if McDermott doesn't win a Super Bowl, he's going to get fired? Like,
I would think
like
so,
they're
right?
going to spin their wheels over and over and over and over and over again. Like, and he doesn't have an answer, Scott. Like, you and I talk about McDaniel's goofy press conferences, and they're dumb. But McDaniel's are frustrating. McDermott's are frustrating as well, in that he keeps on saying the same thing after every game for years, Scott. We just need to work hard. We need to execute. We need to work hard. Like, it's the definition of he really thinks that if we run harder, we'll go through the brick wall next time. You know what I mean? Like, there's no, okay, I got to rethink things and adjust. It's just we need to execute. Execute? Dude, we're giving up 160 yards on the ground on the game, bro. Like, what are we going to execute? What? Like,
especially if the Patriots pass the 5, too. That really would be the nail in the coffin, I would think. I have more coming up in Game Live.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top 3 when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly, Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid as we close out hour number one. Scott and Gabe, we got a punt by by Philadelphia, so it's no score still. Just starting the second quarter. Philadelphia, Gabe, had 3rd and 14, albeit from their own 15-yard line or so. But they ran the ball to the back, not even to Barkley. Shipley was in there. They gained 7 yards. They're not going to get a first. They're going to get 15 yards.
Scott, I talked about this off the top of the show. Do these teams even care anymore? What are we even doing?
Man.
It's bad. It's bad football. Can we say, I don't know. Sometimes I think, well, we can't say it's bad just because there's not a lot of points. Defense matters too, but it's not like, we got Mean Joe Green and Lawrence Taylor running around out here, Scott. You know what I'm saying? No, it's just bad. You know what I mean? It's it's weird, though. We're into week 10 and 11 now, whatever. Week 10, teams shouldn't be as bad as they are. Teams literally have a hard time completing a pass nowadays, it seems. There's a lot of running now and, not smart running. Just basically, now, run the ball right up the middle and get 2-3 yards and do it again. And, like I said, the product of the National Football League this has not been a good year. Let's just call it out for what it is. Tom Brady called it out. He just said, man, I do games every week and it's bad football.
Yeah. I don't expect that's going to change anytime soon. You got some storylines, Patriots turning out to be good, the Colts turning out to be pretty good, but you don't have the powers. You don't have the big boys, and we're not accustomed.
And I also think, Scott, I think the parity, we talk about parity with teams' records. So here's a run for the Packers. So they just busted Jacobs just popped a 12-yarder or whatnot. But
nice.
I think we're to the point where it's hard. Everybody is so fast. You know what I mean? The players have never been this fast before. So this is one thing that's true. I mean, hell, guys, there's offensive linemen that are running the same 40 time that Jerry Rice did, at the combine. Yeah. Literally. We literally have 330-pound dudes that are busting off 4.6s and stuff, right? So there's the lane closes fast. It's just sort of it's like bumper cars. There's nowhere to go. You know what I'm saying? There's, I guess you got to be really good, and coordinate really good plays to find space for your players. And it seems like a lot of teams just can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I've always said this, Gabe. It's the weirdest thing. Go on a football field and see how far 10 yards are. It doesn't.
It's not that far. It's a lot closer than people think in real life.
That's it. You got 3 downs to go from one end of your living room to the other. And you're
right. When you go to a football game, if you're not familiar with it, but you're right. You're man, so close. It's so hard to get 5 yards. When you see it in real life, you're guys, just fall forward. It's 5 yards. It's. Because some sports are different. When you go, you're wow. You know what I mean? Same thing. A basketball court, you go to a game and you're yeah, you know what? It's almost bigger than I thought it was. It's kind of longer than it seems on TV. You could see why, you push it up the court and whatnot. Hockey looks smaller to me in real life too. When you're there, you're man, the rink isn't as big as I thought. End to end isn't as long as it seems actually, but Scott is right. The yards are very sort of you're man, how hard is it to get 5 yards? It's right there. But you plug in a bunch of 300-pound dudes and a bunch of fast guys, and suddenly it's not that easy, man, Yeah.
It's unbelievable, though. I always thought that. It's just you stand out there on a football field and you're this is it, right? 10 yards, yeah. What is so hard? When you hear 3rd and 15, you think, oh, my God, you'll never get that first down. But then when you see it when it's 15 yards, you're all right, that's not that far down the field, But, all right, so no score.
And speaking of which, 3rd and 8, they throw it short. They pick up 6.
Yeah. What is the point of that?
Looks like they're going for it. Looks like they're going for it now.
46. All right. Maybe them not making it will create a little something here. Down to 30.5 on FanDuel.
I wouldn't go for it. They're on their own 45-yard line. I think this is stupid.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they're doing it. I think they might be trying to get them to jump offside. They are. They're not. Let's see. Are they going to snap? No. The Eagles didn't even. The Eagles didn't even bend over. Some of the guys just got up. They were yeah, whatever. Keep doing what you're going to do. The Eagles called their bluff. The players, called their bluff. They started to stand up. We're not going to jump offside. We're not even, in our position.
You see the end of the Jets-Browns game? That's how the Jets end up winning? Browns jumped off side.
Unbelievable. Oh, well, bad teams will do stupid things, huh?
Yeah. 4th and 4 from the 50-yard line with a minute left. There's no way in the world the Jets were going. No way in the world.
Is he another one? Stefanski. He's got a lifetime pass, this guy. Like,
for some reason. I don't know why. I really don't. All right. Packers get a punch.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top 3 when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly, Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe, hour number 2. We got no score in the football game. We got some hockey. We got some NBA, little college basketball as well. So nothing Philadelphia, Green Bay as they play about 4 minutes into the second quarter. So with that, let's talk a little football, maybe a little hockey as well with a good buddy, Zeke Fracassi, here all the time over at SiriusXM, NFL Radio, NHL Radio, some spot stuff there as well. What's going on, Zeke? How are you tonight, bud?
Scotty, it's been a minute, my friend. All's well. Gabe, how are you?
Good stuff, Zig. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Sure.
Eagles and Packers, Zig. A barn fest here. Nothing. Both teams have had some scoring opportunities. Both teams have failed. What are you making this game? 1.5 is the number, and then 28.5. Well, it's down to 28.5 already. Early second quarter.
Yeah, and a really fast first quarter. I think it took all of like 20 minutes to play because you just kept seeing run plays throughout. They thought the turnover by Hurts was kind of big because Philly looked like he had a nice drive going. And, oh, by the way, to fuel up more talk about how nonsensical that tush push is, Dickerson was blatantly offside, yet they didn't call it. So I'm sure that has a lot of people fired up as well. But I thought this might be closer to the vest here, especially with Green Bay playing like they did last week. You get upset at home by Carolina, Philadelphia coming off the bye and maybe being a little bit rusty. And this was not a championship, but a playoff rematch. I thought that it could be one of those 17-14, 2017 type of games tonight.
Yeah, I have playoff feel to it. I said that earlier as well. I think it's going to sort of have a early statement. You know what I mean? The Eagles are trying to establish themselves and remind people that they're the team to beat. And Packers looking to bounce back after. Not every game has been bad this year in the NFL, Zay, but let's be real. The quality hasn't been great. And, we were talking about earlier, Tom Brady's brought it up and said he does the games every week. It's just bad football.
All right.
What is it? Is it the play calling? Is it the players or defenses this good? I just brought up the fact that everybody is so damn fast now that even you got 300-pounders that are running 4.6s. There's no space out here, right? So it's almost like demolition derby, bumper car type stuff. You get the ball, you get hit right away. Yeah. You have to be very precise if you're a quarterback to actually complete passes in the modern NFL. Why do you think the quality of play is what it is right now in the NFL? And here we go. Here's another punt coming up.
Yeah. I mean, you probably have a prop bet on punts and probably do well in this game. I think it's a combination of a lot of different things. Personally, I think with the injuries, it's an accumulation too of, let's face it, these Thursday night games. A lot of people want more football, but guys, I mean, I being on NFL radio, I talk to enough guys and, know enough through the years that, like after they play a Sunday game, they'll say that, only on Wednesday or Thursday do they start to feel normal enough to be ready for the next Sunday. But then you got to prepare yourself to play 4 days later. So I think it's an accumulation of that. So the injuries are a factor. I think quarterback play has been very shoddy. In fact, it makes you wonder too about these teams. Like how many teams have viable starters, let alone viable backups. So I think there's a dilution there. And it's like everybody wants a piece of the big pie. When you start spreading things around, I think it dilutes the product a little bit. So long answer to your question, Gabe, I think there's a combination of a lot of different things as to why maybe the product isn't as good. And I wouldn't say that there's actually a dominant team out there. I think you've got some good teams, average teams, bad teams, but put it this way, there's no teams that remind me of the 80s 49ers or the early 90s Cowboys out there. There aren't.
Which team do you buy into more come playoff time, if any, really? 8-2 New England, 8-2 Indianapolis, or 7-2 Seattle?
It's a really good question, Scotty. And the thing is, they've all got their sort of quarterback storylines. At least May was a developed product, a draft pick of New England, whereas Danny Dimes and Sam Darnold or reclamation former first round picks of respective teams where it didn't work out. So that is a really good question. I might lean towards Seattle because McDonald has brought some of that Baltimore influence with them. And let's not forget, that was a team that won 10 games last year, but McDonald went ahead and basically revamped this roster to how he wants it. Now, I think we'll get a good gauge, guys, this weekend when the Seahawks play the Rams. But of those three teams, Scotty, you offered me, I'd probably put a lean on the Seahawks over the Colts and then the Patriots afterwards.
Seahawks are a good football team. They're like a combination of the Ravens and Michigan, right? McDonald was a coach with both.
That's right.
He sort of has that toughness and, the identity and the culture that they have. But me and Scott were talking earlier about some pucks. Oilers got murdered the other night, Zig, as you know.
Yeah.
And listen, it's always a panic fest in Edmonton, right? The media is pretty confrontational with the team, as you know. So, they better win tonight. Otherwise, it's going to get ugly after the game tonight. But me and Scott were talking about the Anaheim Ducks, an 11-win Duck team that is not just winning, but winning by a margin and winning comfortably against very good teams, albeit a lot of these games have been at home so far, obviously with Quenneville in there. How far? Scott brought up the Ducks are 50-1. I said, I don't think they're cup ready yet. The NHL is sort of you got to learn to lose before you win type of deal in the playoffs. But how seriously are you taking the Ducks in the big picture right now?
It's interesting. My colleague, the great Mad Dog, Christopher Russo, always asks me for teams that he likes to play as over and unders. And I think the over-under may have been like 82, I want to say, on the Ducks. Yeah. And I'm going, go
82
over.
Points, 82.5, yeah.
I said go over because, when you have a guy like Quenneville coming in, again, the time in Chicago was what it was, and let's hope everybody learned from that sordid episode. But the man can clear just flat-out coach. He showed that even in Florida before he was let go there with that beach investigation coming out. But the man can clearly coach. Let's not forget, I mean, they've stunk for years, but those picks have yielded the likes of, well, Drysdale moved on, Zegras moved on, but Gauthier, McTavish, they've drafted Carlson, exactly. They've drafted extremely well. Then you add, within the last couple of years, a Killorn who's got cup experience. Kreider's been to a final. Trouba's been to a final. And then, so you've got a curious mix of vets there. And now you've got a guy in Dostal, who I think is one of the 5 or 6 best young goalies in the NHL. They were able to move on, obviously, from John Gibson out there. So the point is, Anaheim is a really intriguing team there, Gabe. So I think their trajectory is north. I'm not sure they're quite cup ready, but there's one of those teams that, like, you're starting to see the fruits of their labor pay out. They could be a cup contender next year, I would think.
Got a real good one. Columbus, by the way, just scored 1-0 over Edmonton. Wow.
Oh, boy.
What is it about Edmonton, Zig? Why is it that Edmonton every single year starts off slowly?
I wish I had an answer for you. And God, I mean, they just extended Knobloch, too, so they better not fire him because it seems as though Right. I mean, they fired some.
You saw
decent...
Woodcroft. You know what it's like there, Zig. You could be winning, and then
exactly,
it's like a college football atmosphere there. You could be coach of the year one year and fired the next year there.
Exactly. So, gosh, I hope nothing's wrong there. But Edmonton guys may be at a point they might need to pull the trigger on something to get them going early.
It's amazing. 1-0. You get that right now, plus 112. I mean, I like them at the start of the game. Wow. That only 1-0. It's the beauty about betting in-game live hockey. Still first period. That's a great bet. It really is. Zig, great job, man. Always appreciate it. Check them out, SiriusXM, NFL Radio, NHL Radio as well. We'll have an audience too. Thanks, Zig.
Thank you, guys.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top 3 when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly, Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day on the Grid. Thanks again, our good buddy Zig Verkasi, Sirius XM, NFL Radio, NHL Radio over there as well. So nothing. We haven't really, we talked a little hockey with him because there's nothing going on with this football game. Jordan Love doing his best Justin Fields impersonation. He's thrown for 12 yards, thrown for 39. I tell you, the two teams combined barely have 100 yards. Green Bay's rushed for 49 and Philadelphia's 61. So that's 140 yards.
These games are
for both teams.
These prop games are prop killers, Scott. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if we just bet under everybody, it's amazing, isn't it? Like if you look at the numbers and the stats of this game, it's ugly. It's ugly. Jordan Love, 2 for 6 for 12 yards. Jalen Hurts, 6 of 10 for 39 yards, 3.9 average. Jordan Love is averaging 2 yards a pass. Saquon Barkley, all right. Saquon's not, he's doing all right. He's got 8 carries for 32 yards. He's averaging 4 yards a clip. Josh Jacobs got 9 carries for 33 yards. As far as receiving is concerned, remember we like the Josh Jacobs over 2.5 receptions. He does have 1 catch. Luke Musgrave has a catch. Nobody else has a catch, Scott. So he's got there's 2. There's 2 there.
Wow.
Philadelphia's a little bit. A.J. Brown's got 2. Will Shipley's got 1. Dallas Goedert's got 1. Devontae Smith has 1. And Saquon Barkley has 1 for -1 yards. So, but the leading receiver is A.J. Brown with 13 yards. I mean, this is the type of football game. And you know what? This game has gone on. I mean, there's only 5 minutes, 5.5 left in the first half right now, guys. Philadelphia with the football, and they're in no rush. They just ran the ball again on a 2nd and 3 and picked up 1 yard. So now we're going to have like a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Yeah, I told you again before when it was 3rd and 14 and they ran the ball. It just seems like
they don't seem to care.
Yeah, they just want this to be a lower scoring game for some reason. There's no sense of urgency. I mean, it's
like the Eagles figure, it's close and we'll be fine in the 4th. Yeah, they just sort of play down to the level of competition now, And I'm not saying the Packers are down, but where's the creativity, Scott? I mean, you have Devontae Smith, you have A.J. Brown. I mean, how about let's use them? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've got Dallas Goedert. Like, it should, they only pass when they have to. Look, it's 3rd and 2 right now. They pass and they don't complete it. They get bailed out with a flag. But it seems to me that their plan here, Scott, is if they can, they're going to eat up the 453 down the field here. Like, they're in no rush. Like, they're just like, all right. And they do get the ball, right? The Packers got the ball first, so I think the Eagles, and it's hard to go a 2 for 1 with 5 minutes left, but it seems to be their intention. Like, they're literally snapping the ball with 0 on the clock. Like, he's in no rush.
I get that.
And it's a scoreless game.
Well, I was just going to say, I get that if you're playing Kansas City or the Rams or Baltimore.
They don't have anybody. They're offensively challenged. Exactly. Like, get up, and it'll really get them in trouble.
Exactly. It's 26.5. I wouldn't bet it until they score. Like, I usually, if you get a game like this, it's like don't wait until somebody scores. Then sometimes,
but isn't
floodgates? But you might.
Isn't this why? Isn't this why though that people don't talk about the Eagles the same way as a Super Bowl contender? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like like all these other teams. Yeah, but man, you got to beat the Eagles, right? They're 6 and 2, but they don't really look that good, Scott. Let's be real. And it started on night 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. They didn't look great then. Like, they've dodged bullets. They've won some games they shouldn't have won. Like, it hasn't been a great year for them, but they're good enough. I guess I was going to say, are they good enough, and or other teams just aren't that good, so they're 6 and 2. Right? But they're not like, it's not like a fearful 6 and 2. No one's scared of this passing attack, Scott. I'll tell you that. Like, it's been a problem all year for them. They can't throw the ball, this team. Like, you know what I mean? They can't throw the ball. Like, their offense is very primitive, bro. Let's call it out for what it is. Like, they can't throw it. They score on the tush push. If they didn't have Saquon Barkley, they'd be screwed. They wouldn't have won the Super Bowl last year. Saquon just popped a big run, and there's a holding penalty. It's coming back. Like, this offense is not in sync, and we're in week 10 right now, and they're coming off a bye week.
Yeah, this is off a bye. I tell you, I hate those buys. I hate betting on teams on bye. I know theoretically it's great. They all get healthy and this and that.
They should be crisp and like ready to go and ready to fly around, you know?
It does. Takes them out of their rhythm. Just takes them out of their normal routine. And You know, a lot of times.
But they weren't in a rhythm, Scott. So that's why I'm thinking, you know what? Maybe 10 days of practice here will sort of, remind you guys this is what we do. This is why we're the Eagles. This is what we do well. They don't have an identity. Like, they can't throw the ball. They're not, like you said, it's not really Barkley's fault, right? He's, it's not like he's bad, but you can't expect Barkley to go Barry Sanders on every play, right? It's not in the NFL. You can't expect him just to pop 30-yard runs for you all the time. Like, you know how many times last year, Scott, Saquon Barkley saved them with like a big run?
Oh,
they nearly lost to the Saints last year, bro. Seriously. Like the Saints, the Saints are bad. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. The last time they played, the Saints were better than they were, right? The Saints deserve to win the game. Saquon Barkley popped like a 60-yard run with like a minute left, and the Eagles dodged a bullet. Like, they've dodged a lot of bullets over the last 2 years, this team.
Yeah. They had, they
blocked field goals. Remember, blocked field goals, Denver last second, Rams, whatever, Rams. You know what I'm saying? There's always something with that. Like, yeah.
So, it's not good. Minnesota had them dead to rights. They end up
like they're not a dominant repeating champion here. It's not like everybody's scared of them right now.
Hurts is not doing anything to dissuade the critics of him. Where he can't throw the ball, they can't throw the ball down the field, all this other stuff. I like her.
I don't think he's a super.
But it's like,
I like him too.
It's hard.
But I don't think he's a superstar quarterback. But that's not an insult. It's not an insult. But Jalen Hurts isn't going to win football games for you. He needs to be part of a good operation. Like, if you put Jalen Hurts on the Jets would still suck.
Right. Still suck. Yes. And you put another good quarterback, you put a Sam Darnold even on the Philadelphia Eagles, they'll be good. Yeah,
exactly.
That's kind of like the criteria.
That's exactly my point, Scott. You put Justin Fields on the Philadelphia Eagles, they're just as good. Like, you know what I mean? I totally agree with you. Like, that's what I've always said. Like, it's not an insult on Jalen. He's a good quarterback, but he's not a superstar quarterback. He's not.
Yeah. So 4th and 7, they have it with 2.5 minutes left. So I'm assuming
now they're punting. Dear God, man, it's just a freaking punt fest, man.
4-letter network thinks they're getting a great game. I
got another 4-letter word for this game.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top 3 when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly, Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, Game Day here on the grid. So they hit the 2-minute warning, officially 154. No score. Green Bay will get the ball one last time, right around their own 30-yard line or so. No score. They're back to being 1.5-point favorites. It really hasn't fluctuated much as there's no points being scored. 1.5, one way or the other, depending on who has the football. And the over/under is down to 23.5. I told you 26.5. Don't buy in. Might get down to 23.5. If they don't score here, now the goal is get it under 3 touchdowns, Gabe. If he gets to 20.5, now then I might jump in. I mean, it's got
it'll be
somewhere along the line. Right?
It'll be 21.5 at the half if it's scoreless. I said
if it's scoreless,
they're not going to want to go under that 3, the 21 sort of key number barrier, so they'll make it 21.5. But like I said earlier, yeah, this game, I don't see where the points are coming from. I thought it would keep on coming down, but I'm just going to keep waiting. Can Green Bay squeeze a field goal out of this right now, maybe? Potentially they get a field goal here. I'm not so sure. The way it's going, I wouldn't be surprised if, they end up getting stopped here and it's another 3 and out. But the key will be props here because nobody has done anything.
Yeah.
Right? Like let's look at the so Jordan Love's passing prop. Like, this is as low as I can recall, like this early in a football game. 152.5.
Yeah, it's even good.
He's got 12 yards.
He's got 12 yards, so
he's 150. He's 141 still. Like, normally, though, you and I talk about it, like, it's like, you can get 100 in a quarter. You can get 50 or 60 on a drive, but he's not, like, evidently. I think the lack of the wide receiver problem is a problem for them tonight. Like, seriously, guys aren't open. So he's got that number. Jalen Hurts is 167.5. He's got 48 right now.
That's not bad. Hey, Green Bay's only run 19 plays. On average, most teams run around 65 to 75, depending on the game and everything plays. They got 19. I mean, so it's...
They just completed a pass to Tucker to Luke Musgrave. Like I said, the other tight end, no one else is getting open. So I think it's going to be a tight end situation here.
Nothing out of Watson.
Sometimes Watson's got 0 catches.
Yeah.
His is 20.5. Like I said earlier, he only really goes deep, right? So it's kind of all or nothing for him. Listen, I thought Romeo Doubs. I like the over Romeo Doubs 4.5. He's got 0 catches.
Man, they can't be like the defense can't be that good. That it's the NFL, for goodness sakes. Whenever I get a game like this, I blame the offensive coordinators more than anybody else. It's like, come on, you can't.
Jacobs just caught a ball. So Jacobs is up to 2 now. We got over 2.5 for him. Remember, so he's up to 2. Yeah. Listen, Musgrave's up to 2 as well. I'm kind of mad I left that on the table.
Yeah, that's why I say that. That's why I like the Jacobs when you said that, and we found out that the wide receiver was out. I mean, throw it to the running back there. Throw some screens. I mean, you don't have to be an offensive genius. I remember, the great, one of the all-time great games, Talking Football, if you remember that growing up as a kid. You'd pick the play, and then you'd pick the defense. Throw some screens. Throw some draw plays. Do something imaginative when your team is in a funk like this. That's why I said. That's why I blame the offensive coordinators when you don't have any points like this. So,
I agree. Screenplays. I don't know why they don't use them more. Like most good teams. I'm trying to get in right now on a couple of props here as we speak. They're locking it. It's going on and off because they have the ball. But I want to get on Luke Musgrave over 3.5. He's at 2 right now. He's going to catch a couple of more balls in this game. They are moving the ball right now. Like it looked like he was going to get sacked, and he got out of it. And they're getting into field goal range here. I think Jacobs just caught another one. Is this Jacobs? Yeah, Jacobs already at 3 right now. Jacobs just got there. So Musgrave is at 2 right now. So let's go over with Musgrave. 3.5. You're getting plus 105, guys. He gets 2 more catches in this game. Romeo Doubs is down to 2.5, but you're getting plus 130 to the over. Man, some low numbers. What about the Eagles? A.J. Brown's got 2 catches. His prop is 4.5, plus 128 to the over. Devontae Smith has 2 catches. His prop is currently 4.5, minus 105 to the over.
How about Barkley? You know what? Barkley's at -1 yards because he had that reception. They're giving you 5.5. Like, I think they're going to do the same thing.
Yeah, you figure he gets one and he pops one.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not throwing the ball deep. That's for sure. All right, let's look.
Green Bay on the move.
Packers maybe scoring here. Who knows?
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top 3 when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly, Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. So we're approaching halftime, taking a peek at all the other things going on, including my every team in the NBA to score 100 points. I like to play that. Looking halfway decent so far. We got a big schedule today, but +2 and change on that from FanDuel. So let's look a little football. Lakers, by the way, win by 10. They get the cover, laying 8.5 against Charlotte, which is just awful. Luka with 38. Tom Vecchio, SportsGrid.
Do the Lakers ever play a good team? They're always playing bad teams.
I know, right? Amazing. Every time you turn around, it's one bad team. Really, look at this.
They've been the Denver Broncos. Worst 8-2 teams in the country. I don't know if the Lakers are still 8-2. What are they, 8-3, whatever it is now?
Trailblazers, Grizzlies, Trailblazers again, Kings.
That's what I'm saying with the Lakers. They're 8-3, but okay, let's see. It'll be one of those deals, too. LeBron will get ripped when he comes back because they won't be as good because they can't be this good, right? They're playing over their heads. Yeah, so they'll blame LeBron.
Anything that can blame LeBron is okay in my book.
Yeah, I figured you'd like that, Scott. Yeah, they'll start losing. LeBron came back, and they're not as good.
Yeah. Well, I want to see some of those stories. We're better off without LeBron popping up here. So, Tom, we got a barn burner here. Nothing. Green Bay, they do have the ball. The Packers do at the Philadelphia 27-yard line with 31 seconds left. Your impressions of this first half?
We're seeing an offensive lineman come off the field for the Packers.
Elton Jenkins,
Yeah, certainly not
there's
great
been more
there.
injuries to O-linemen than points in this game. Now another O-line goes down. We already had Lane Johnson out.
Yeah, first Johnson, now him. I'm on the Eagles and the under. I have a couple of props in the mix as well. So, I'm going to say, it's obviously not entertaining. But I'm also not upset with the way things have gone, considering I have the Eagles, I have the under, so that those are looking good. They are in field goal range. The Packers. The props don't look amazing. I have Devonta Smith over 21.5 for his longest reception. I like what he's done, to this point in the season, and we've seen Green Bay allow at least a 20-yard reception in 6 of their 8 games this season. And I understand that 20 is not over 21.5, but they're at least somewhat susceptible. And I just like the spot for Smith and the consistency that he's brought.
I think we got a fumble.
It does look like a fumble, which means the Packers aren't even going to kick a field goal at this point.
Wow. When's the last time we had a scoreless first half?
This is unbelievable. Jordan Love goes back to pass, gets sacked, and don't give me this. His arm is going forward crap.
Let's see. Fumble.
That's a fumble, Tom. Yeah, his arm isn't going forward. He tried to push it forward, but no, that ball popped out. I don't want to hear 100%. any crap. Yeah, that's a fumble. And the Eagles recovered it.
Yeah, Eagles immediately jumped to minus 142 on the money line after they were plus money.
Wow, it just won't this game. This game, Scott.
Oh, my goodness.
This game, huh? Complete a couple of passes, fumble the ball. It's man, what are we doing? Come on, Tom. You can't tell me the NFL is good, man. What's up with the NFL this year?
I'll say this. Last night when Brady and I, we did the Chargers Steelers game. So we were talking about that, and I was looking at some of the lines for this game because DK offers a game prop for total punts in the game. Total punts combined for the game. What do you think the line was for this? Because I didn't know what it was last night, and just because of how bad the game was last night, I was like, I don't know what the line was, but I had to look at today's line. And what do you think?
4.5, 5.5?
It was 7.5 for tonight, and we already have 7. It was 7.5 plus money on the over for total punts in the game. Not either team combined.
It's become the norm in some in years where the punter isn't even used. The Buffalo Bills punter kicks once every month. Yeah. Some of these teams, right? The Detroit
Colts,
whatever.
Detroit and the Colts, their punters never kick when they score 15 touchdowns game seemingly. But we get these games when there's going to be 15 combined punts.
Yeah. So you did like the under. So did I. And I teased the under. So I got the Eagles plus the points. Right. And I got the game teased to the under. I didn't play I hate betting unders, but I was like, man, I'm getting it at I'm getting under 52 points with the Eagles at plus 8.5. I just couldn't pass that up. So I just like to see the Eagles score first, Tom, to get a little bit of a cushion here,
Exactly. And again, being on the right side is great. Having entertainment come along with that is what we really want. We want to be right on both and have something enjoyable. And we're not really getting that. We're looking at a live total that's 22.5. 22.5. I thought coming into this game, at least one of these teams would be getting to 20 by themselves.
Can we get some more passes out of Jalen Hurts here? I mean, I did love his over 26.5.
Devontae Smith just dropped one. I don't know, it was there. I don't know when he dropped that.
It was a little short, but that's something you got to come up with and come back to the ball.
Yeah, late in the half, you're trying to squeeze out a field goal here. It'd be nice to see someone make a play. You know what I mean? But we were just talking about it earlier, Tom. I don't think Jalen Hurts, and I'm not criticizing him when I say this, but he's not a superstar quarterback, right? If you put him on the New York Jets, the Jets would suck. And if you put Justin Fields on the Eagles, they'd still be the Eagles. Right, so Justin Fields can't win games for you. I'm not saying he's costing him games, but I don't think he's a star quarterback.
I would say that I think he excels when there's good players around him. The rising tide lifts all ships kind of thing. That's how I would kind of put it.
Yeah. Which just means he's not a star quarterback. You know what I mean? But he has players, Tom. Is A.J. Brown not that good anymore? Is Devontae Smith not that, good? What do you think? Doesn't he have players?
I think they are star wide receivers. That's just how I view them. They may not be utilized properly. And that, obviously, some of that's out of their control just because they are physically talented.
Yes, yeah.
Well,
I'm not blaming the wide receivers either. Is it the play calling? What is it? What's wrong with the offense?
They have a new offensive coordinator this year, as they've had seemingly every other year. I think that's the majority of their issues. Kellen Moore leaving is a huge loss for them.
They ran the ball. What are they? I don't know. It's 3rd and 7. You got 8 seconds left. You have all your timeouts, and they ran the ball on 3rd down. It's almost like they got a bet on 0-0. I mean, why are you running the ball? You're at the 35-yard line.
You're like this. So they go for it on 4th down to throw a Hail Mary, and Jalen Hurts cares so little he threw it out of bounds. Like, guys, like maybe there's a pass interference penalty. Like, at least pretend to care. Like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously. Like, they were like, well, we don't want to run down the field. Like, he literally rolled out and threw it away. Like, I guarantee you that wasn't the play. You got to believe that the play was a Hail Mary, and he just said, screw it.
First scoreless first half in Monday Night Football history since 2009 is the graphic they just flashed.
Wow.
Yeah.
They offered a prop before the game. I forget exactly the amount, but I think it was like 151. They offered this prop all the time for all these games. No touchdown scored. It's funny.
Right.
It caught my eye today. I was like, no,
yeah.
They're going to get, whatever, But
hey, my final score prediction, Scott, 24-20. When I did it, I was like, man, that's pretty low for a modern game. But I'm going to say now I'm like, man, it's pretty high. I should have said 20 to I should have said 17-13. I don't know. Well, what do you think we're getting to, Tom and Scott? Like, seriously, it's 0-0 right now. What are we going to get to? It's 21.5. I was right, Scott. I said it'd be 21.5. It's 21.5.
Yeah, I think it's reasonable to say, 14-10. Like, at least some score, because seeing
a touchdown, each team gets a touchdown is 14.
7-3 would be a crazy outcome, right? So
when's the last time there was a 7-3 NFL game that wasn't in bad weather? Like, I remember the Bills and the Browns played a 6-3 game in a snowstorm, etc. But, like, think, guys, when has there been, like, what's the lowest scoring game in, like, not bad? Like, it's a little cold, but come on.
We could see, we've seen teams end with 3 points. But the other team has 21.
The other team has 27 usually or something. Yeah. Exactly. Like, one team will show up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cowboys and Raiders next Monday. Jets and Patriots on Thursday.
Yeah, we got some
it can't be worse than this. Watch the Jets Patriots be good.
Yeah. I'm talking to Tom Beck. We'll get some more action out of him when we come back and get live.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top 3 when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly, Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the Grid. Scott and Gabe talking with our good buddy Tom Vecchia, SportsGrid host. You see it here all the time here on the Grid. So they are at the half. We'll start there. Maybe we'll bounce over to the NHL here, Tom, in a sec. But FanDuel's got that Philadelphia laying 2.5. They get the ball first. That's probably why they're favored. And the over-under on FanDuel anyway is 20.5. How about that? Minus a little juice, minus 122. But we're under that 3-touchdown limit. Any props, any plays you like? Second half.
At this point, obviously all these players have nothing. 10 yards here, 15 yards there, wherever it might be. Luke Musgrave, I thought was going to be playing a decent role coming into this game. He's got 14. His line's only 26.5. Of course, it's just one catch. I could say the same thing about Dobbs or Watson or Goddard, et cetera, et cetera. But I like the role that Musgrave plays, and I also think schematically from an offensive play calling standpoint, he has to fill some of that Tucker Kraft role. And I know Tucker Kraft was unbelievable. I'm not saying Musgrave is going to be him, but at least give me half of that role, and I think that should push him towards the over.
I agree. I liked him over 3.5 receptions before the game. I didn't pull the trigger. It was plus 130 as well. Thinking, you know what? They love the tight end. He's going to step up. He's not Tucker Kraft, but he's going to step up into that role. So to speak, even potentially in the red zone if they ever get like that close to the end zone. But I agree. I played him. I played it. I got plus 110 here at the half still. So I need 2 more catches. He's got 2 catches here. Scott, you talked about Barkley earlier and the receptions. I got in on. He's minus 1 yard. My prop I got was 4.5 yards right now. So I need 6 yards here in the second half. 1 freaking catch, Tom, essentially. Like, yeah, come on.
Right.
He's got to catch 1 screenplay here. Come on.
You would like to think so with the pressure that the Packers can bring. 1 quick screen and then just the yards after the run or yards after the catch will get him there, and it doesn't have to be some massive, downfield type of play.
I think Barkley, I just played this too, guys. Barkley to score the first touchdown of the game. Pretty crazy that we're at the half. We're talking about first touchdown, and it's still up. Plus 600. They get the ball now, Scott. So I'm banking that the Eagles move the ball down the field and Barkley scores a touchdown here. Plus 600. I already have Jalen Hurts to score a touchdown just because of that tush-push ban vote thing. But so I'm sort of covered. Like if Hurts scores, good. If Barkley scores, fine. I got it at plus 600.
All right.
Both guys' passing numbers are about 100 more than what they have right now. Love's got 39. They're giving you 144.5. Hurts has 48, and they're giving you 145.5. I think both these guys. Like I said, it has to open up a little bit. Maybe not.
I think Love more.
But
even though he doesn't have the wide receivers, I think he's throwing a bit. Really, I don't think the Eagles are going to throw, Scott.
Well, they got Lane
They're just
Johnson
going to keep running the ball.
So, both lost offensive linemen. And the backups, usually it's a little bit easier to pass block than run block. That's what I'm thinking maybe. And you get a little frustrated having first and second downs be gained for a yard or two and all of a sudden facing 3rd and 7.
I think they're going to hope that Saquon saves them. And it's funny because I brought it up earlier that I said, the Eagles, they've dodged a lot of bullets. I'm sure you remember the game, Tom, last year. It was like week 3. They showed the graphic. That's the last time the Eagles have been shut out. Last year against the New Orleans Saints. And I was saying, how bad the Saints were, and they nearly beat the Eagles last year. Saquon Barkley, popped a big run, with 40 seconds left or something. Like, it was late. It was like he saved them type of deal. I sort of get the same feeling tonight. Like, I don't think suddenly their passing attack is going to come together here.
Right.
I think they're going to say, guys, let's just give Saquon the ball over and over and hope he pops one for us.
I would agree with that. And randomly, I think that was a game that Devonta Smith got a concussion. He got popped from behind when they were at the Saints last year. Totally different story, but frankly, that one drive that they had was 8 minutes. Like, they moved the ball well. Like, they were cooking, and obviously that with the Hurts fumble, they were primed to score a touchdown. So they have looked quote unquote good at times on offense. Obviously, none of that has come to fruition. And same thing we said about the Packers. They move the ball, obviously, turnovers, fumbles, et cetera, et cetera. But if they just get back to basics and be like, hey, we move the ball on the ground and they can't stop us, let's just do that and be as simple as possible if Lane Johnson is out, and let's try and sneak away a 10-7 victory.
That's why I'm not betting the over now. Normally I'd be running to, we got to bet over. Yeah, just moved. People are betting it. It just went to 20.5. They're trying to bait people into the over here.
Yeah.
I'm with Tom. If it goes to 16.5, maybe I'll listen, but I don't see. I'm not even sure 3 touchdowns happen here.
No.
Columbus just scored again.
Son of a... Like, the Oilers just want to play from behind, huh?
I know. It's amazing. Any thoughts on that game, Tom? Edmonton coming off that 9-1 trashing by Colorado Saturday. Gabe and I both thought they'd come out flying today, but obviously that's not the case.
No, I was considering taking over 6.5 right as that first goal happens. We're still getting plus money because it happened late in the first. I was considering taking over 6.5. I didn't. I was talking with a friend about it and clearly missed the boat on that. So, no action for me. This other game that's starting in about 20 minutes between Panthers and Vegas, I see that as a toss-up. But I just generally lean towards the home team when it comes to that spot. I think, the Panthers are at the end of a long road trip out west.
Yeah, they've been on the road forever.
Yeah, I think the Panthers just are just done. At this point, obviously not done, but just done with this road trip. And they've had some nice wins on it, but you give me Vegas at home at a decent price, I'll look there. And then looking ahead to tomorrow, I don't know how this Kings Habs line is only 5.5. The Habs, they go down by 3, they can come back and score 4, or they can score 4 on their own. Their offense is cooking right now. The young players that they have look fantastic. Slavkovsky continues to develop. Demidov looks fantastic. Everything is falling into place for them, and I don't know why this line is 5.5. It's minus 130 the over. Tomorrow, I don't expect this line to be that. I think it'll be 6.5 tomorrow.
And not a lot of love for the Canadians at minus 120 even. I like they're
awesome at home.
Yeah, the odds makers haven't caught up to them. We'll put it sort of like the Ducks. We were talking about the Ducks earlier. The Ducks were plus 130, plus 120 last night. They won again. Like, all they do is win. And, the Canadians, same thing. They're really not respected by the odds makers yet for whatever reason.
Yeah, the Ducks look great, far exceeding my expectations. I was on the Jets last night. I talked with Cam. He came on the show with me and Brady. We did cash a Kyle Connor goal prop yesterday, but the Jets didn't come through. But I'll look towards the Habs tomorrow.
Yeah. Nashville loses again. Your Rangers beat them. Boy, Nashville just sucks. I thought maybe they would turn things around this year, but man, that has not happened. Tom, great job as always, man. Appreciate it. Who gets to it? Thanks.
Of course.
Jeremiah Love is a player that you have to keep an eye out on just because of a running back, his versatility, how good he is in the receiving game this year. We haven't seen a running back potentially crack the top 3 when you just think about it with the Heisman Trophy back there. Jeremiah Love just dominant. If Notre Dame wins out and they're in the college football playoff, Love should be involved in the conversation.
SportsGrid's College Football Today.
Starts off on a positive note of getting Lamar Jackson back Thursday night, which was great. He threw for 200 yards, did not look rusty at all. He only rushed for 15, but he didn't really need that. Lamar Jackson also threw for 4 touchdowns, 2 of which going to Mark Andrews. So guess who's back and relative again at the tight end position now that Lamar's back? Oh, wait, it's Mark Andrews. No kidding. I mean, the guy just catches touchdowns. It's Lamar's favorite guy in the red zone.
Fantasy Sports Today, only on SportsGrid.
Fly, Pelican, more like grounded Pelican. The Pelicans are 0-6 to start the season. Their main guys aren't their main guys. And it comes to a point where, what do you do if you are Joe Dumars and the leadership of New Orleans?
Pro Basketball Today, only on SportsGrid.
Blue Jays are going to be dangerous for years to come because they have money. They're a fun team. Other players like Guerrero, the Blue Jays are a first-class organization. They treat the players very well. They're first-class complex. As I stated earlier, you can live like across the street from the stadium and there's no drama. You don't have to sit in traffic ever. You have an entire country that buys your jerseys and are big fans of yours.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
All welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. Scott and Gabe getting ready for the second half to begin with our Monday Night Football game. Thanks to Tom Vecchio for joining us, talking a little NFL and a little hockey. One thing about the hockey, two things, really, two interesting things with Florida and Vegas coming up here in a couple of minutes. One, who would have thunk at this time of the year, both teams that were in the Stanley Cup Finals would be in next to last place in their respective divisions. Edmonton and Florida is as well. If you just go by the points, not by a lot, but they are in next to last place, just ahead of the Buffalo Sabres. And here's one for you, Gabe. I know you love trends here. Vegas has been dominant against Florida at home. How about 9-1 against the Panthers? Maybe there are only 10 meetings in Vegas. And Florida struggled on the road this year, only 2-6. They certainly seem to enjoy themselves when they're in Vegas. So give me Vegas tonight, laying, about $1.40 or so against Florida. We got $1.28, even better, at home against Florida tonight.
I like the Vegas Golden Knights as well this evening. If you look at the Florida Panthers guys, number one, they don't have Barkov. They don't have Kachuk. So, they're down two of their best players. They've played in 3 consecutive Stanley Cup finals, right? They played in a Four Nations face-off. These guys have played a lot of hockey, and it's going to catch up to them. They also have a big target on their back now, that they're the 2-time champs, and they're also a pretty dirty, mouthy team. So, when they're on top, they talk a lot, and people don't like them and really want to beat them when they can. And they've been on the road since November the 4th. So what are we at now? We're moving on here now. What's the date? So they basically, the only thing is they have been in California on the West Coast, yet that's kind of worse almost. You know what I mean? If you travel, Scott, and you go to Calgary and Edmonton, what are you doing, bro? You're not playing golf. It's cold as hell. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? Seriously, you're on the road. Edmonton has a mall like Minneapolis. They have one of the world's largest mall type things. So I don't know, you might go to the mall. You're not going to go out anywhere really for dinner because people in Edmonton actually know who NHL players are, and you'll get badgered for autographs all night and stuff and pictures. And dude, if you're a hockey, imagine, Scott, you're the Florida Panthers. You've won 2 cups in a row, and you've just spent a week in California. Are you really overly concerned with you'll be we'll be fine, don't worry. It's a long season. You know what I mean? And they were in LA, they lost, they lost to the Anaheim Ducks 7-3, they beat the Kings, and now they went to San Jose. So now they've been in Vegas for a couple of days as well, which is not ideal. I'm not saying they've been out getting wasted at the Bellagio every night, but they've definitely been playing golf and not thinking about hockey. I think it's a good spot for Vegas.
Yeah. And the other thing is, they play a physical brand of hockey, Gabe. They're not like the Oilers or the LA Kings. You pick a team that just, Colorado even just goes up and down the ice. You play a physical brand of hockey like they play, and teams want to play against them because, as you mentioned, they hate them. That does wear on you. You're right. They played a ton of hockey, just a ton of hockey. And,
all the teams, Scott, if you look back over the last 10, 12 years, let's say 50, whatever, there's only been 2 other teams that have sort of been had multiple runs. The LA Kings and the Chicago Blackhawks. And look at the Chicago Blackhawks. Where's Duncan Keith? Done. Yeah. Seabrook, done. Right? Tays got worn out mentally. He's come back now this year after being off for years. Patrick Kane is smaller. He's sort of at the end, and he's beat up. But, the LA King players, Jeff Carter, Mike Richards, it's good news, bad news. It's oh, great, man. We went to 3 Stanley Cups in 4 years, and I got a couple of rings, but it took a couple of years off my career. You add up the playoff games, Scott, it turns into extra seasons, literally and figuratively. Right? Honestly, you look, it's like Tom Brady, guys. Do you know Tom Brady played 43 playoff games or something? That's 3 years of football.
Yeah.
So if you're a hockey player, and you just said it, Scott, and in the playoffs, it's physical. So imagine you played 3 seasons of hockey where you just got beat the living crap out of you every 48 hours, playing every 2 days.
Intense pressure.
There was a story years ago. There was a guy on the Canadiens. He got traded to the Florida Panthers, ironically enough, and the Panthers were terrible. And the guy was depressed when he got there, and guys in the room could tell. And a player told him, he goes, listen, you get to play golf all the time. There's no media. And he goes, we never go to the playoffs, so you're going to add like 5 years to your career. And he wasn't joking, like point blank. He goes, you play longer when you don't go to the playoffs.
It's true. It's true. I mean, think about best of 7. It's 28 games.
If you're a pro player, you're like, fine, I'm not getting hit. That's another year on my career. You know?
Exactly. The Eagles on the move.